G'day everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Retro Glory Hunter season number 9. We have packed our bags and moved off to pastures new, and we have moved over to France. More specifically, Olympique Lyonnais, or Lyon for short, as everybody knows. Now, back in this time, Lyon were actually a massive force to be reckoned with. They had a superstar striker in the Brazilian Fred. Financially, they weren't anywhere near as bad off as they are today, just put it that way, and they were dominating the French league. If we have a quick look at Lyon's history, so to speak, once it decides to load up. Yeah, 13 league titles, 6 league cups. But one thing that is missing from here is a European trophy, which doesn't really coincide with what our targets are now, seeing as the Glory Hunter European trophies have been ticked off. But we definitely need to get another league trophy and another French Cup. So that is why we've moved here. It was the best option, I think, and the fact that it came up besides Marseille and PSG, who are probably the only other two competitive teams in this league at this point in time, it is a very good option, I think. So let's go and have a quick look at the transfers first, because there are a few still going on. I believe these ones are just going out because it is the 8th of August. I've not played any games yet, and I'm going to run it from here, just to keep things a little bit more mixed up. But transfers wise, when I came in quite early. I applied for it quite early. If you saw the last video with Valencia, I had a look at the job then. I was undecided at that point in time whether to actually go for it or not, but obviously I decided, and I got the interview actually pretty quick. So I've had a fair bit of time at the club to have a look at who I can bring in. None of these players here are mine. Obviously they're all signed beforehand because it's 2031. Got a whole millennium in front. But I did bring these ones in. So Felix Platt is one that came in, a young German striker. In fact, actually, this one I didn't sign. This had already been pre-arranged by the AI for some reason. He's an okay striker. He's gone into my second team. I don't think I'll ever see him again, to be honest. Marco Verratti. Obviously, everybody knows Marco Verratti in real life. Absolutely phenomenal defensive midfielder. Really, really solid. And at the age of 22, I don't think he's developed that well at the moment, but he does have good passing technique, really good physicals. So I brought him in to bolster the squad a little bit, and I'll show you the squad in a second once it's all done. But I did want a little bit more firepower up front, so I went for Diego Simeone's son, Giovanni Simeone, who is a young 19-year-old Argentinian, and he is incredible already. Epic work rate and technique, great dribbling and finishing, great anticipation. His off the ball is fantastic, and he's got agility and acceleration to burn, and pace with it as well. I'm very, very hopeful. He's already bagged 4 goals in friendlies this season, so yeah, and he got 60 in 94 for River Plate. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he'll be a good backup to Fred. But I also needed a goalkeeper. The goalkeepers here were woefully bad. So I went for a legend of the game, David De Gea, who is a fantastic goalkeeper in himself, but still only 24 at this point. I never got to use him when I was at Atletico Madrid because he was only just coming through the youth system, so it didn't make sense to use him at that point in time. But now I can sign him. I'm glad I did, because he is absolutely phenomenal and he's just getting better and better. So I'm very happy with that. Transfers going out, nothing too much really to write home about, just a few niff-naff and trivia ones. Squad options going out, just so I can raise a little bit more money, because financially wise, I think this is the start of the downturn of when Lyon started going a little bit. And I've only got 8 million left. I had 36 million in the transfer budget, but squad wise, this is what it's looking like. Got the old veteran Hildebrand as the backup goalkeeper, as well as Yacine Benounou. But David De Gea in goal, Hans Hateboer, Mukhtar Diakabi at 18 looks incredible already, absolutely phenomenal. Samuel Umtiti, Ezekiel Gare, who's an absolute legend of the game. Ezekiel Gare is phenomenal. I remember him from the original 07-08, and he was always one centre-back that I wanted to sign. And he's in my team, so I don't even need to sign him. Wayne Bridge at 35, the left back is at Lyon, weirdly enough. Jeremy Toulon, I've been batting offers away for him all summer, mainly from Barcelona. And I can understand why, because look at him, he's ridiculous. I don't actually remember him being that good in real life, but still, phenomenal player, absolutely phenomenal. Kim Kallstrom, another one. Andrei Yarmolenko is phenomenal on this as well. His physicals are outrageous. But he has the technique to back it up as well, so I'm expecting quite a few assists off him this season. Hatem Ben Arfa, come on you guys, you must remember Hatem Ben Arfa from his Newcastle days. Well, I believe, if I got this right, he was at Lyon. Oh, and this one he went to Blackburn, then Deportivo, and then he's gone back to Lyon. So he never actually made it to Newcastle. Kind of a bit part player. I think his teamwork and work rate should be a little bit lower than that, to be fair, because he was a lazy player. He was a talented player, but he was a lazy player in real life. And then the two big boys, Jeremy Menez is another one who was absolutely phenomenal in the game originally, and he's still really, really good. At 28, he only came in, I think it was last season he got bought in. Yes, for 30.5 million from Real Madrid. Didn't really settle there after signing from Monaco to Nuremberg. Weird move. And then went to Real Madrid, a couple of loans. Ended up at Lyon. Played 17 games last season in the league, 23 in all, 6 goals, 3 assists, not under my stewardship. 7.5 average rating. That's really good. So I'm pinning a lot of hopes on him this season. And then there is Fred. Phenomenal. Fred is an absolutely outstanding striker on this game. And you just got to look at his stats. He was a career boy at Lyon. He moved from Brazil to Lyon and he didn't go anywhere else, and he's the same on the game. And again, not getting too many bids for him, but he had 262 goals in his career, which if you take off, what's that, 54, 56, 63 of those goals, oh, he's nearly at 200 for Lyon. He'll pass that this season, guaranteed it. Guaranteed it. Tactically wise as well, I'm rocking pretty much the same. The only one I'm keeping in is Lucas Ocampos, who got signed from River Plate to Lyon. Game time has been picking up, but he's been playing more on the left wing. But I see him more as a complete wing back, so that's where I'm training him. That's why I've put him in there. So as a complete wing back, try to bomb up and down that wing, as well as back up whoever's going to play on the left wing, I think is the right way to go. Fingers crossed that actually does work for us. But I'm going to go and simulate the season. Hopefully, I'm not bothered about the European games. I want the French Cup and I want the league tied up quickly. I believe that we got the squad to do it. We may even do this in our first season. That's what I'm hoping, and then we can move on quickly to the next challenge. It could be either Germany or Italy. They're the only two that are left, I believe. So let's go and find out. I'm going to go and simulate it. Come and join me in a few seconds. We started off Season 9 in positive fashion, notching up early season wins against Nice 5-0, a 2-1 win versus Saint Etienne, a 4-0 bashing of Bastia, and a 3-1 win versus Toulouse. Adding in a couple of draws scattered in between, we sat top of the league going into the new year. We carried that form on into January with wins over PSG 3-0, a 2-0 win over Lens, but then it just all fell apart thanks to some major injuries. From February onwards, we had an injury nightmare. Our league form slumped, obviously, recording all our 6 losses of the season in the second half of the season, including a 4-3 versus Nice, a 1-0 loss to Lille, a 3-1 loss to Rennes, and that result, in the end, cost us the title. In the Cup, it was pretty much the same. Early wins versus Nancy and PSG, and a 2-0 win versus Nantes took us to the quarterfinals versus Toulouse, who knocked us out 1-0, ashamedly. And in Europe, even though it was not a target of ours and doesn't need to be a target of ours, it was a pretty drab showing too. A 1-0 win versus Celtic, then a 1-0 loss to Sporting, beating Barcelona 4-1 only to lose 1-0 to Sevilla. We did qualify for the knockouts to face our league rivals Marseille, who we narrowly beat 5-4 on aggregate, to set up a mouth-watering clash versus Man United. They had fortune on their side though this time, and in a close affair, they beat us 3-2 on aggregate. Well, that is a most disappointing first season in France, missing out on the league title by 2 points. and getting knocked out by Toulouse. And Toulouse finished 8th in the league, and we got knocked out by Toulouse in the French Cup, and they ended up going all the way to the final. Fair play to them, and they got beat by Rennes. And I believe Rennes, as I said in the highlights, it was Rennes that cost us the title, annoyingly. If we got a result there, well, I'll say Rennes cost us the title. If we got a result against Lille or Rennes, we would have won the title. Those two results cost us at the end of the day. But this little patch here was utterly horrendous. And if we have a look at it, highlighted it in the highlights reel. But if we have a look at the injury history, yeesh. Over the course of this season, we've had some major injuries and a lot of moderate injuries as well. It's really taken out. You go look at it. Keita has missed pretty much all season due to injuries. Admittedly, he's 34, he wasn't going to get too much game time, so it's not too bad. But Lucas Ocampos, who I was pinning my hopes on at being a left back, he's missed nearly 150 days of the season. Fred, again, has missed nearly 100 days. Menez has lost nearly 100 days. It just starts stacking up, and those sort of things affect your rhythm a little bit, and it cost us. Fred only got 23 goals this season, only. That's still a... let's say only. 18 goals in the league, 23 in total. That's still a really good season, considering he missed quite a bit of it through injury. But you can't help but think that if he just was there, if he was there just for an extra couple of games, especially that Lille game where we only lost 1-0, maybe, just maybe. But sadly, it wasn't meant to be. And even more annoying, we were top for a very long time. But when we start again, a couple of those serious injuries was right around this point. When, if we have a look at the past positions, it was right around here that we started dropping off. And that's when the injuries kicked in. Injuries affect the squad. It affects the game. I'd say competitions-wise, Champions League, I'm not too fussed about. Getting knocked out in the round of 16. I think they went on to win it. Impressive. We only just qualified ahead of AC Milan on goal difference. Wow. That could have been disappointing. And then obviously the quarterfinals against Toulouse. So, that being said as well, financially we weren't in the best of positions, and we still really aren't. But we've got a £30 million transfer budget for next season. Squad-wise, we do have quite a few old players here. Poolhack, Fred, Toulon, Kallstrom, Siccardo, Keita, Bridge and Hildebrand, who is retiring. Wayne Bridge is retiring, so that's 2 players going already. Siccardo's wanted, Kallstrom has asked to leave. Toulon is not happy because we didn't win the league. Well, you're the one that's playing. Win the league. It's quite simple. I never understand that complaint. Unhappy that we didn't win the league. Well, you're the ones that are playing. Book your ideas up. So, yeah, we've got some unhappy players as well that want to leave. Oh, God. There's got to be a lot of reshuffling here. Unless... Oop, get off there. Unless... Let's go and have a little look at the job centre. See what's going on. Jobs-wise. Let's clear all that. Managers. And then job scope. Don't want that. Don't want that. Right, and then we go to nations. I only want Germany and Italy. Ooh. Oh. Inter Milan is there. They finished 5th, which means they only get UEFA Cup. Ooh. Financially wise, oh. Do I take on the challenge of rebuilding Lyon a little bit, which is going to be a bit of a mini rebuild because there's a lot of players that need to go and a lot of players that need to come in? Or do I go to Inter Milan? Or try and go for Inter Milan? Ugh. That's tough. Have a look at the squad. They've got Rafael Varane, Julio Cesar, Raul Albiol, Miguel Veloso, Leandro Trossard. Weird, but he's getting sold. Joaquin, oh, he's being sold. Thomas Suchek, Zlatan is still there. But again, they look like a squad that need a bit of rebuilding as well, but they've got the money to do it. Okay, I'm procrastinating a little bit here. I've got a decision to make about this. Let's see where we go from here. But if you did enjoy this episode and want to find out what actually happens in episode number 10, you must subscribe. You must like the video and share it around amongst your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.